This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Kol haloyam wahawa la Yahweh bahashem Yahweh Shai bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors are due to the venerable apostles of the great millstone, along with the elders who rule and teach well. Salutations, peace, and blessings goes out to the Bayaf the Wadah, that is the house of David the elect. I'm Shamar Ahmath. A quick prophecy update. All right, going into what I just read out of the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16. Okay, and you can read the headline for yourself off of wallstreetjournal.com. Okay, there you see it. All right, Francis Macron calls on Europe to reduce reliance on U.S. for security. Okay, now he has been very vocal, this Macron guy, all right, the leader, so-called leader of France. He's been very vocal over the last couple years with his mentioning America, and been very vocal about, being at odds with them. Okay, he's been one of the loudest. I mean, Germany has been at odds, but this guy from France, I mean, he's really, calling the United States out. Okay, and what you're witnessing is what I just read, out of Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. All right, with the 10 horns, okay, being these EU countries, all right, the European Union, all right, and hating on the whore, man, which the whore is America. All right, so this is a beautiful thing to witness. All right, we live in beautiful times, Yapa times, because we're seeing these things, man. The scriptures talks about living to see the fall of your enemy. All right, matter of fact, let's read that. All right, let's read that in the book of Sirach or Ecclesiastes, chapter 25 and verse 7. All right, and it reads, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart, okay, or mine to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Okay, so this is what should make a man of the Lord happy, and it does. It makes the man of the Lord happy watching Esau and the beast, okay, and the whore, be at odds with one another. Okay, the EU, it's all part of the beast system. Okay, NATO, the EU, and the whore. All right, Edom, the great red dragon. All right, they're divided, man. Mark the 3rd chapter and verse 24, for example. Okay, so, and again, Macron has been extremely vocal in his disapproval, I guess you would say, of America over the last several years, as a matter of fact. Okay, for America's policies, when Trump was in office, for all the sanctions that Trump put on France. Okay, which they're all working together. And at the end of the day, these rulers are controlled by the Lord anyway. The book of Proverbs, the 21st chapter, tells you that. So let's read a little bit of this. It's not going to be long at all. All right. Okay, so it reads, aboard the French presidential plane, French President Emmanuel Macron said Europe needs to take a more assertive role with the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, reducing its reliance on the U.S. and developing its own defense capabilities to secure peace in a region rocked by the war in Ukraine. Oh, another thing that Macron was pissed about, Australia was supposed to buy some submarines. I believe Australia was supposed to buy some submarines from France. Okay, but instead, Australia went with the U.S., Okay, and they made a pact with the U.S. and the U.K. Okay, which cut them out of a lot of money, man. All right. So, hey, and Marcon is pissed, man. All right. So he's, again, extremely vocal. All right. All right. He does not approve of the whore's behavior. It says, speaking to 3 reporters on his return to Paris from a summit in Amman, Jordan, Mr. Macron stressed that he doesn't see his push to develop European defense as an alternative to NATO. A stronger Europe, Mr. Macron said, will allow the continent to become more autonomous within the alliance, acting inside NATO with NATO, but also not depending on NATO. It says, an alliance isn't something I should depend on. It's something that I should choose, something I work with. Mr. Macron said, we must rethink our strategic autonomy. Mr. Macron is walking a delicate line. He has already angered Ukraine and some of his allies by calling for the West to provide Russia with security guarantees as part of any negotiations to end the war in Ukraine and prevent the conflict from spreading across Europe. Well, see, none of that's going to work, man. You know, all these negotiations and these treaties that these countries, you know, make with one another, and these alliances, they're all going to be for naught, okay? And again, all the men that were once Confederate with the war, which would include France, all right, are gonna come against her, man. And it tells you that in Obadiah. So let's get that in Obadiah. There's only one chapter, powerful prophecy, but only one chapter. So it's in verse 7 is the point, and it reads, Obadiah, verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy, Salakia, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in them. All right, so countries like France, Germany, other EU powers, you know, they're going to ultimately, it says they're going to eat her flesh, which is going into making her irrelevant from an economic standpoint, okay, making America irrelevant from an economic standpoint, and burn her with fire, which means they're going to shoot nukes on her, man. This is beautiful, all right? This is beautiful. Bible prophecy, man. You know, and that's what the scripture says we're supposed to be occupied in, prophecy, all right? It says on Wednesday, and this article is several days old. Now, let's see when this was. It's several days old because today is December 27, 2022, the year of Yahweh Shemir Shah turning up. So this is from December 21st. So it's almost a week old. Okay. Let's keep on reading. It says, okay, it says on Wednesday, all right, it says on Wednesday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's a small hat, all right, he's a 1948er, met with President Creepy at the White House and addressed a joint session of Congress. The high-profile visit is an effort to buttress political support in the U.S., which has supplied far more weapons to counter Russia's invasion than any European ally. All right, it says, Europe needs to gain more autonomy on technology and defense capabilities, including from the U.S., Mr. Macron said. The war in Ukraine has largely united Western allies in opposition to Russia and underscored the importance of NATO in protecting the continent. The U.S. and Europe have sent forces to the alliance's eastern flank to bolster its defenses while also supplying Ukraine, which isn't a NATO member. So see, they're all at odds, man. Okay? They're all at odds. And, you know, it talks about Amalek, the least of the flock, okay, drawing all these countries into this war. Again, Zelensky just marched into Congress, all right, gave his speech, all right, and the U.S. is continuing to send billions of dollars in aid to the Ukraine. Where do you think's getting that money? The chief house Esau's getting it, man. Amalek, okay. The international banking families, they're the ones profiting, of course, man. While you Israelites are over here, getting ready to fight for resources, okay? And that's coming, man, because a famine's coming to this land. All right. Okay. I'll end it there because that's really. I mean, there's only a little bit more left in the article, but the point's been made, and no need to spend a lot of time on it. I didn't intend for it to be a long video at all. Just an update to show you, all right, what's in the news, and the men of the Lord filter, all right, the news through the scriptures, man, and the prophecies. And this Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16 prophecy is speaking loud and clear, man. These prophecies are speaking, all right, because we're at that point in time, all right, pursuant to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Lord willing, you was edified through the Spirit. And with that, I want to say shalom.